Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Saturday, November 8th, 2025. It's time for another live stream on your K1 Visa Green Card channel, Spousal Visa channel. It's Diego. Karina is getting ready to go out and take care of some business. She's been working hard all week, and we hope you're doing well. We hope you're hanging in there. Remember, this K1 visa process is easy. The green card process is easy. You don't need an immigration attorney to do this, okay? Don't be sweating. Don't be stressing. The process is easy. And if you hang out with Diego and Karina when she's not busy, we will get you through this process for free. And Chris Stout, congratulations, you are back. Well, we didn't go anywhere. We just were busy, and we tried to do the live stream at least 3 times a week, right? Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. But sometimes we can't. Sometimes stuff happens, but we are here. I'm here, and we hope you're doing well. We had lots of people like Brownie RSPS got his green card in the mail. He sent me a text message to the cell phone because Brownie is a member, like Chris is a member of the channel. And you have my phone number and my email address. You can contact me anytime you want. Anytime you want to contact me, members, don't be shy. Go ahead and send me a text message. It's 2:14 p.m. Central Time, so it's 3:14 p.m. in Miami and 1:14 p.m. in Albuquerque. And just after lunchtime in Los Angeles, California. Chris Stout, green card still waiting on the mail. Well, Brownie RSPS got his green card in the mail yesterday, I believe. And I got a like a little Christmas cat thing here. Can't see that, right? It's like Rydia. It's like our cat Rydia. It's a Christmas cat. It's almost Christmas. Can you believe it? But we're still waiting. Thanksgiving's got to get here. There's people putting up Christmas decorations, and it's not even Thanksgiving yet. Come on, guys. Can't we just wait till Thanksgiving to get here first before you start hanging Christmas stuff? Now, I'm all in on Christmas decorations. I love Christmas, but let's not jump the gun. The green card process is speeding up, believe it or not. The K1 visa process is speeding up, believe it or not. It's not going as slow as people think. But the only time it's going to slow down for you is if you make any mistakes on your application. Remember, you can't make mistakes when you fill out the paperwork. Immigration has a zero tolerance for mistakes. Chris Stout, it's still pending in the system. Okay. So when it says it's still pending, that means that, you just got to keep waiting and waiting. But you'll get there. You'll get there. The process is going to get there. And everything's going to be just fine. You get it. People are getting their green cards mailed to them, and they're coming out of Corbin, Kentucky. People are getting their interviews. There's a gentleman who's a member of this channel. He's still trying to get a scary visa interview at the USembassy in Bogota, but you got to keep checking, keep looking, keep checking back. Look at the early morning, look at late at night, and the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia is very busy. I remember when I was trying to set up an interview for Karina. Chris Stout, halt in UPS due to crash. Well, the plane that crashed, the engine fell off, apparently. The plane was flying. The pilots didn't do anything wrong. The pilots did it. In fact, the pilot saved a bunch of lives with his action, but the plane's engine fell off. And that was a UPS flight flying to Hawaii. So if anybody was living in Hawaii expecting a UPS package, then probably that would be not going to happen. Those UPS packages were incinerated because that plane was full of fuel when it took off. It was maxed out, 250,000 pounds of jet fuel, I believe, something like that. I'm not exact amount, but there was a horrible accident. But the engine fell off, and then the plane couldn't fly, and it blew up. And I got my t-shirt. I got the shirt on here for Karina's new coffee company. What do you think? There it is. What do you think? This is the Karina Ross Coffee Company Imagine Colombia polo shirt. I think it looks pretty cool. So it's Saturday afternoon. Normally I do a live stream like 6 p.m. in the evening time, but I decided I want to jump on here early today because it's in the middle of the afternoon on a weekend. So tonight you guys can enjoy your dinner with your families. Chris Stout, not sure whose fault it was due to do a check before it took off. Well, I'm pretty sure the pilot went through all of his pre-checklists, and I'm sure he was just as surprised as everybody else when the engine fell off, because I'm sure that wasn't part of his checklist as a pilot. Check to see if the engine's still on the wing, right? So he's looking. No, that was metal fatigue, I believe. That's probably the reason for that. When I was in the Navy, I was air warfare qualified in the U.S. Navy. And when I was going through my air warfare qualifications, I learned all about X-raying airplane wings and looking for fractures and deterioration of the metal fatigue. So it's probably a very old plane with a lot of metal fatigue on the wing, and the engine was too heavy for the wing, and it just fell off, full of gas, full of diesel, full of jet fuel. It's just my opinion. But we hope everybody's doing good out there, hanging in there. I know it's not easy going through the K-1 visa process, going through the green card. You think, Chris Stout, you think the mechanic's at fault? Excuse me. I don't think the mechanic is at fault. I think the person that does the integrity checks on the metal. You got to X-ray the plane's wings. You got to use a machine to check for metal fatigue, to make sure there's no cracks or problems with the metal that holds the engines to the plane. So a mechanic is a person that does maintenance on the engines or whatever, not so much the structure, looking at the structure. That's somebody else, an X-ray person, I would just guess. I don't know. The National Transportation and Safety Board, NTSB, is going to investigate it. Cornell Rivers, hello Cornell, what's going on? How are you? How's your family? We hope you're doing good, hanging in there, patiently going through this process. I understand. Cornell Rivers, thanks for the coffee. No problem. Glad to send it to you. You're a member of the channel. You've been a member of the channel for 4 months, longer than 4 months. So Karina shipped you a free box of coffee from her Karina Ross Coffee Company right here. Look at that. Imagine Colombia. You like this? You like the polo shirt with the that's Karina's logo. Imagine Colombia, and that's her new design for her shirts. And we're, I've started a t-shirt printing company also. So Karina started her coffee company. And I've got a t-shirt printing company I've started. So if you want any t-shirts printed up, and I don't care what, send me the design. If you remember this channel, text me the design that you want, and I can make t-shirts. I just got to know what it is you want on the t-shirt. It doesn't have to be Karina's Coffee Company, but I did make she does have a bunch of t-shirts for sale. Let me show you what she's got here for t-shirts. She got, I don't know, they're pretty good. They came out pretty good. She got a black t-shirt. She got a red one right there. She got a white one. So she got t-shirts now. So she's on a roll. That's for a coffee company. But like I said, if you've been a member of this channel for 4 months, 5 months, Karina will ship you a box of her coffee. And I just started a t-shirt company, so if you need t-shirts or anything made, like I made this right on, so it came out pretty good. If you want to get a t-shirt made up that says that you're sick and tired of waiting for your green card, let me know. can make it for you and send it to you. All right. I got T-shirts in the house. I got all the technology here at the house to make these beautiful designs and hats too. Although I'm not going to make hats. I'm going to put my Venezuelan hat on. I think the president of Venezuela, who is actually a bus driver who thinks he's the president of Venezuela, Maduro, he's probably going to be leaving the country pretty soon. President Trump is just waiting on authorization to help him on his way. Cornell Rivers, I sent an inquiry to the National Visa Center. Very good. The National Visa Center is in New Hampshire, and they're the folks that get the K-1 visas after they've been approved by the Service Center. Well, you guys know the process. Christoph, LOL, is it safe to put on a 2028 Trump hat? Well, Trump isn't going to run for a president in 2028, okay? He's got one term left, and he's doing his job right now as president, and he's not going to be able to run for re-election because he's on his second term already. So the Constitution prohibits him from running again. But you can put on your 2028 Trump hat if you want to. I don't see any problem with it because in America, you're free to wear that hat if you want. Okay? If people don't like Trump, if they disagree with you, but that's fine. You still have a right to wear the hat. Okay? That's your freedom of your First Amendment right there. The K-1 visa process, I've made some videos. I made a video on how to fill out an I-129F. I made a video on how to fill out the 485. Probably tomorrow when Corinne is at work, I'll make another video on how to fill out the 751 and the 864, which is the affidavit of support. Maybe I'll make a video also on how to fill out the I-134, the Declaration of Financial Support. Because lots of folks, they want to file for K-1 visas and green cards, but they just don't know what the paperwork requirements are. Well, or how to fill out the paperwork. And they're kind of scared because of, making a mistake. And rightly so. If you make a mistake, your green card is most likely going to get denied. So you can't make mistakes when you fill out the paperwork. But if you remember this channel and you have my cell number and you have my email address, you can send me your paperwork and I can review it before you send it off to make sure there's no mistakes in there. Don't make any dumb mistakes because it's going to cost you time and it's going to cost you money. And you don't want that to happen, right? So Karina, she has her 2-year green card. She's going to be filing in March of 2026 to lift the conditions off of her 2-year green card. She's going to be filing for her 10-year green card. But there's about a 21-month wait for adjudication. So when she files for her 10-year green card in March of 2026, it's going to take about 21 months before immigration even look at her paperwork. But they will send her a letter, a 797 notice of action letter, saying that your 2-year green card, even though it's expiring in June of 2026, it's going to be extended for 48 months. So you can continue to live and work and be merry in America while we process your 10-year green card. A lot of people get panicky because they see their 2-year green card is going to expire and they haven't got their 10-year green card in their hand yet. Well, that's okay, because that NOA letter, that notice of action letter, the 797, is going to be your permission slip to live in the United States with an expired green card. Your 2-year green card expires. You'll have permission to carry on working, etc. And living here. I don't recommend that you travel outside of the United States while you're on a 2-year green card. I don't recommend you travel outside of the United States until you become a citizen. International travel is right now, you got the air traffic controllers, they're on limited working hours because of the government shutdown. So airports are going to be reducing their incoming flights by 10% at least. So even right now, with the government shutdown in place, don't be surprised if you're trying to fly somewhere outside of the United States, your flight gets canceled, trying to come back home. It could happen. So don't leave America. Don't go anywhere. Hang out with your family and friends in whatever city it is that you now live in after you relocated here. I mean, I still can't figure out why people, as soon as they get to the United States, the first thing they want to do is go back to their country they started from because they miss grandma, or they miss all their friends, or they miss something. You can't be that way. You can't be in the miss me mode. When you get to America, you got to focus on living here and making this place your place of residence. Effective December 26th, I believe, the day after Christmas, or December 28th, I think it's December 26th. If you leave the country as a foreign national on a 2-year or a 10-year green card, you're going to have your photograph taken of your face. You got no choice. When you leave the country to go on vacation somewhere or go visit grandma, you're going to have your picture taken by the Border Patrol. Then that photograph is going to be sent to Homeland Security and USCIS. So they're going to have it on file that you just left the country. When you return back to the United States, they're going to take a photo of they're going to take your picture of your face, your photograph of your face, and it's going to be downloaded and then sent to USCIS and Homeland Security because you have returned back to the United States. And then there's going to be a calculation on how many days you were gone from the country. Okay? So it's going to be calculated that you were gone for 2 months, 1 month, 2 weeks, whatever. It's going to be a computer algorithm that's going to keep track of when you leave and when you come back to the United States. This applies only to foreign nationals working on green cards, who have carrying green cards. If you have advanced parole, my recommendation is don't test that piece of paper. Don't test it. Don't see if it will work. Just stay in America till you get your 10-year green card at a minimum. Cornell Rivers, I got a response yesterday saying that they sent the receipt number to the processing center. Okay. How long do you think it will take to process and send me the number? About 10 days, somewhere like that. It doesn't take long. Not very long. Chris Stout, it says it will be closed till 2026, January, for the government shutdown, unless Trump fights for the deal to end. Well, President Trump has asked for the Congress to open up the government. It's the U.S. Congress that is closed, okay? Not the executive branch, it's the congressional, the members of Congress. The Republicans put forward a proposal for a budget, a continuing resolution, and the Democrats don't like it, so they vote no. Because the Democrats want to fund health care for illegal immigrants. So all those people in the country who are here illegally, who need health care, the Democrats want you to pay for it, Mr. Taxpayer, American citizen taxpayer. The Democrats want you to pay for that illegal immigrant's health care. So the Republicans are saying, no, that ain't going to happen. We're not going to do that. The American taxpayer is not responsible for those medical bills. And those illegals need to go back home to their home country so their home country can pay for their health care, not the taxpayers of the United States. But the Democrats continue to say, no, we need to fund these. We need to provide this money. And the Republicans are saying it ain't going to happen. So the government will stay shut until the Democrats wake up and smell the coffee and understand that the U.S. taxpayer is no longer going to be funding the medical health care benefits for people in this country illegally. So I won't, Trump's going to try to reopen the government with his words, but it's up to the Congress to do it with their votes. That's how it works. It's a good learning experience for beneficiaries. People coming to the United States who are flying in from foreign countries on their K-1 visas, this is a good learning experience for you to understand how the U.S. government functions. Trying to learn how the U.S. government works, how the executive branch works, etc. Chris Stout, what's this nuclear testing they're talking about in Arizona, in the state of Arizona? Well, when President Putin of Russia, the Russian Federation, said he wants to start testing nuclear weapons, President Trump said, okay, if you're going to test them, so are we going to test them. I don't know if the people in Nevada are open to that. I don't know if the citizens of Nevada are going to want to test nuclear weapons anymore in their state, because that's where that was the last place the last nuke was tested, right? So Arizona may be the next place to start testing our nuclear weapons. If Trump goes through with it, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll see if Putin decides to detonate a nuclear weapon in the Arctic. I think that's where he said he was going to do it. If Putin detonates a nuclear weapon, then Trump's going to detonate a nuclear weapon. It's just tit for tat, right? So Trump's a strong president. He doesn't put up with any crap from any of these foreign leaders, especially Maduro down in Venezuela. And Maduro, his days are numbered in Venezuela. He needs to go find somewhere else to live while he can, while he's still alive, right? And then when Venezuela is a free country, then the U.S. Embassy will reopen. It will relocate. The U.S. Embassy right now from Caracas, Venezuela, is working out of office space in Bogota, Colombia. When Maduro has self-deported himself to Russia or China or Cuba, then the U.S. Embassy will reopen in Venezuela. The borders will, the processing of visas will restart for K-1s and for spousal visas. The economy of Venezuela will start to correct itself from this years and years of communism. So we'll see what happens. Cornell Rivers, my petitioner's brother, is going to be a co-sponsor. What form does he need to fill out? The same that I fill out. Now, let me ask you this, Cornell Rivers. Your petitioner's brother is going to be a co-sponsor. Does your petitioner's brother, does he live with your petitioner, or does he live in a separate house independent of your petitioner? And then I can answer your question. But I got to know the answer to this question. Does your petitioner's brother live with your petitioner, or does he live in a house or an apartment independently? What do you think of these T-shirts? They're pretty good, right? I mean, I made these. I made these T-shirts, guys. I got this T-shirt company going on, and if you're a member of this channel, send me a text if you want a T-shirt, because they're pretty neat. So, right, he lives in the United States, but does he live? So your petitioner's brother is going to be a co-sponsor, and so he lives in the United States independently of your petitioner's family, right? So he's going to have to fill out. Let me type it right here. So is he a green card holder, or is he a U.S. citizen? Your petitioner's brother, is he a green card holder, or is he a U.S. citizen? And if either way, as a green card holder or a U.S. citizen, he can be a co-sponsor. But if he's living separately from your family, he's going to have to fill out USCIS form 864. He's going to need so he needs his last tax returns. Last tax return or returns plus transcripts right here. W-2s. Okay, you watching this? Pay stubs, 6 months worth. Bank statements. I'm writing it all out for you. Showing, I'm going to type bank statements correctly. Bank statements, 12 months worth. And they got to show direct deposits, showing direct deposits. And then a letter from his boss or the HR stating where he works and how much he makes. And then that's it. That's for the financial side. So that's for the financial side, okay? He's going to have to get a color copy of his biographic page. Take notes here, okay? Color copy of his biographic page of his passport, of his US passport, in color. I said that already, but I'm saying it again. Nice and big. Nice big copy. Okay? You're taking notes. Cornell, are you writing this stuff down? So if you have a joint sponsor living in the United States, he's a US citizen, you're going to need his last tax returns, 3 years worth. 3 years worth. Okay, so if you have a pen, take notes, write that stuff down, and that's what he's going to have to provide to include. So you're going to get a binder, get a folder, go to Walmart, buy a little folder, and in the folder, put on the front of the folder the name of your beneficiary's brother, put his name and put joint sponsor, co-sponsor, whatever you want on the front of the folder. Okay? So you got a folder. On the front of the folder, go into WordPerfect, create something that has got his name on it, and put joint sponsor for you. Okay, and then make a cover sheet. He has a cover sheet. Here are my financial documents for my joint sponsorship of so and so, and then put in the folder 3 years worth of tax returns and tax transcripts. W-2s, 6 months worth of pay stubs, bank statements, 12 months worth of bank statements showing direct deposits going into the bank, a letter from his boss or her or HR stating where he works and how much he makes, and a color copy of his biographic page of his US passport in color. Nice big copy so immigration can read it. And that's it. That's what you're going to put. That's what a joint sponsor, and then the 864. USCIS form, very important, 864, signed and dated with 0 errors. USCIS form 864 or I-864 if you want to be correct about it. He fills it out, he signs it, full name. He's going to sign his full name, first name, middle name, and last name. So immigration can read it. You got it? Put it in a binder, and then you include that with your adjustment of status paperwork. Okay, for your 2-year green card. So once you both become a 2-income family, when you apply for your 10-year green card, you're probably not going to need a joint sponsor because you're going to become a 2-income family. All right. So your income, you're going to be filing tax returns as a couple in the United States for the next 2 years. You're going to file joint tax returns. The income should pretty much double up, and so when you apply for the 10-year green card, you don't need a joint sponsor. So you may want to explain that to him. You got it. There you go. I bet you're glad you're hanging out with Diego today, right? Because I just saved you about $400 in immigration attorney fees. because that's how much he would have charged you for that phone consultation. I'm sure at least $300. So I'm glad I'm here to help you. Like I said, I got 12 years experience processing green cards and K1 visas. I've been doing this for 12 years. So you guys are going, helping. You only hopefully have to do it one time. Okay? Hopefully you just do it one time and you're done with it. But I've been doing this for 12 years. I have just as much knowledge as an immigration attorney on green cards, not on, legal stuff, because I'm not giving you legal advice here. Okay? I don't give you legal advice, and I'm not an employee of USCIS, and I'm not an immigration attorney. I'm retired 3 times, okay? I retired from the Navy, I retired from Mercedes-Benz, and I retired from real estate. So now I do a YouTube channel for you guys. And for 12 years, I've been helping people get green cards and K1 visas, including my beautiful wife from Venezuela. And now it was a big headache trying to get that K1 visa. Because, being from Venezuela, she had to jump through a bunch more hoops. But I know the process. And I know the hoops that she had to jump through. Now she has her own coffee company. Starting January. All right. So this channel was created in basically Villa de Leyva in Bogota, Colombia. This is where we created this channel, in Colombia. I was in Bogota with Karina, waiting and waiting and waiting for her, K1 visa to get approved. So I went and lived in Colombia for close to 3 years. And I was flying back and forth back here to Florida. I got to pay taxes and property taxes and income taxes and all this other ripoff that we have to pay as Americans. But, Karina got her 2-year green card, and she'll get her 10-year green card, and she's in English class right now, doing pretty good. Her English is doing pretty good. So she'll be getting ready to become a U.S. citizen. And so what we're waiting for right now is for Venezuela to get freed up, get Maduro, out of there, so that Venezuela can become a free country. The U.S. Embassy will reopen. The U.S. Embassy for Venezuela is in Bogota, Colombia. It will relocate back to Venezuela. All those communist, lowlifes that right now are terrorizing the citizens of Venezuela, they'll hopefully be removed from Venezuela and shipped out on a plane somewhere, on a Russian plane probably, to Moscow. Who knows? But Karina is hopeful that her country, her former country, America's her country now, but her former country will soon be free. And her mom, especially, and her dad and her sister, they can't wait. Cornell Rivers, I'm getting confused on the times that you come on. Okay, I come on the live stream, 6 p.m. Central. Okay. On Saturday, Monday, and Wednesday. That's when I do the live stream. Saturdays, Wednesdays, and Mondays at 6 p.m. Central Time. But today I did a surprise live stream. I do surprise live streams sometimes. And I changed the date and I changed the timeout. Okay? Sometimes I'll just come on in a surprise and say, hey, everybody, I'm here doing a live stream. Let's go. You got any questions? But the routine is 6 p.m. Central Time, Saturdays, Mondays, and Wednesdays. And I spelled Wednesday wrong. It's Wednesday, right? That's how you spell Wednesday. I don't need glasses pretty much anymore. Now I got my blood sugar under control. Wednesday, Saturday, and Monday, 6 p.m. Central Time. But hopefully you guys get notified when I come online, when I do a live stream. Hopefully you get notified. YouTube should be telling you, hey, Diego's online. Okay, so you get a message in your computer or your phone saying that I'm live, going on and doing a live stream. Hopefully. I don't know how. I'm not an expert on this YouTube thing. I put this together in Bogota, Colombia, this channel with Karina. It was her idea. We were in Villa de Leyva in central Colombia on vacation. We went there for a week's vacation, and we were just talking about stuff. And I had a YouTube channel about Colombia, exploring Colombia. And Karina said, well, why don't we just change it to immigration so you can help people? So I said, okay. So I switched it. I had a cooking channel, which I deleted all the cooking videos. Then I had an Exploring Colombia channel, but I left those videos up. And now it's an immigration channel. And Cornell, you gave me a big thumbs up. It doesn't. So you don't know, you don't get notified when I go live. I don't know how this YouTube thing functions. I don't know. It said, I don't know. I mean, I do YouTube and I read your question. I go to YouTube live 6 p.m. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays Central. And then Karina, she runs this side of it, but she's working long hours. So this is basically my job that I do, is helping you get your green cards and your K1 visas. As long as you qualify for the benefit. You got to qualify. If you qualify for the benefit, then I'm going to help you all day long get adjudicated and explain to you how to do it. Because it's not hard. The way immigration writes their instructions makes it complicated. Immigration attorneys make it complicated. But I make it easy. I take the paperwork that's complicated and I turn it into something that's easy to understand so you guys can figure it out without paying an immigration attorney. Now, immigration attorneys, for the most part, do a pretty good job, I'm sure. I'm not saying they do a bad job. I'm just saying that they charge an awful lot of money for something that's very easy to do. So I made the process simple, and lots of people took advantage of it. I mean, I don't know, a couple of years I've been doing this, right? I've made thousands of videos, over 1,000 videos on how to do a K1 visa. So it is what it is. And Karina is in the United States. We flew together from Bogota, Colombia. I accompanied her from Bogota to Miami. We drove up to here in the Panhandle of Florida. And now she got a coffee company. And I'm making T-shirts. That's her T-shirts. That's her Karina Ross Coffee Company. And I'm making the T-shirts, and she's going to be selling her coffee. And we'll kick it off in January. Chris Stout, sometimes he will be on when the cat turns the video off. When the cats run the house. We got 2 cats, Riddy and Vinny. Vinny is short for Venezuela, and Riddy is short for I don't know. But they run the house. Now, Riddy is a black cat. Nobody wanted Riddy because she's a black cat. And everybody was saying that black cats are unlucky. Well, they're not unlucky. They're beautiful cats. So we adopted her and said, we don't play that lucky, unlucky stuff. And then, so we adopted Riddy, beautiful cat, very nice, very affectionate. And then we have Vinny, who's Russian gray. And boom, we got 2 cats. When is a good time to call you, says Cornell Rivers. Well, send me a text first, because make sure I'm not in the garden up to my neck in dirt, or I'm not in the shower. So send me a text and say, hey, is it okay to call? And most of the time, 95% of the time, I'll say, go ahead. But sometimes I'm in the yard, and sometimes I'm in the shower, and sometimes I'm cooking, making dinner. So Karina doesn't have to make dinner. So she has, because she's working, and I'm basically just doing YouTube. But I started this T-shirt company, so I'm not going to be, I can't be not doing something. So now, Karina's working her full-time job. She's doing her coffee company, and I started a T-shirt printing company. Terrence Tam Bigor. Hello, Diego and Karina. Hope you guys are doing good. My wife got her 2-year green card. Well, congratulations. Where's the Mountain Dew? I'll give you a Mountain Dew salute. Mountain Dew salute for getting the green card. Now, remember, Terrence, just because she has her 2-year green card, the process does not stop. The process continues. you got to keep collecting evidence for her 10-year green card. So you're going to look on her 2-year green card, look at the expiration date. Minus 90 days from the expiration date. In that window of time, in that 90-day window of time, minus from the expiration date, you have to lift the conditions off of her 2-year green card. The 2-year green card is a probationary green card. It expires. It doesn't get renewed. You don't renew a 2-year green card. It goes away after 2 years. It becomes obsolete, like my old computer. Okay? So make sure that you keep collecting the bank statements and the bills and the water bill, the electric bill, the phone bill, the trash bill. Make sure that she is using her credit card to buy stuff at Walmart or Publix or wherever, Piggly Wiggly, wherever you go. You got to keep collecting the evidence for her 10-year green card. Because if you submit a 10-year green card application and there's hardly any evidence with it, then she's going to have a hard time getting her 10-year green card. You understand what I'm telling you? Karina has a stack of evidence like this for her 10-year green card, because since January of 2024, we've been collecting the paperwork, the bank statements. She's working, so her pay stubs, we keep her pay stubs. Okay? She's on the water bills, the trash bill. We keep all this documentation in a binder. Get some document protectors. I got them on the floor down here. But get some document protectors and go to Walmart or Office Depot, get a binder. Terrence, listen. Go to Office Depot or Walmart, get a binder, like about this big, 8-inch binder. Get about 200 document protectors and start collecting the evidence for her 10-year green card. You're going to need a certified copy of the marriage certificate for the 10-year green card. Things that you don't need for the 10-year green card. Well, you don't need to repeat the medical exam. You don't need to include a copy of the K-1 visa. You don't have to include a copy of the I-94. Those are the things that you had to include for your 2-year green card. When you file for your 2-year green card, you've got to include the I-94, your certified marriage certificate copy, certified copy of the marriage certificate, certified copies of divorce decrees, annulments, death certificates, certified by the courthouse. Okay? At least 2 bank statements showing you are joint bank account holders. You know the deal. But that process doesn't end. All this evidence collection doesn't stop until you become a U.S. citizen. When you become a U.S. citizen, then you go to your citizenship swearing-in ceremony. You turn in your green card, your 2-year green card, because you're probably not going to have your 10-year green card by the time you become a U.S. citizen, because it takes 2 years just to get a 10-year green card. So you turn in your green card and you get a naturalization certificate in its place. And on that naturalization certificate is going to be your alien registration number on the top left hand of the form. So even though you become a U.S. citizen, you're an American now, right? You're a U.S. citizen. You can get a U.S. passport. You can vote. You can run for political office. Even though you are a U.S. citizen, you will always have your alien registration number. Okay? So let's suppose in 4 or 5 years down the road, you want to apply to bring mom to the United States. So you're going to fill out Form I-130. This is the beneficiary who is now a former green card holder who is now a U.S. citizen. You're going to fill out the I-130 and the financial documents to bring mom to the United States. They're going to ask you, even though you are a U.S. citizen, for your alien registration number. You're going to say, I don't know what that is. I'm an American citizen. Who the hell? I don't know what that number is. Well, it's on your naturalization paperwork. So there's no reason why you shouldn't know what it is. Okay? This is just information for you guys that most immigration attorneys don't even tell you. They don't even know half the stuff I tell you. At least 20%. Kevin Cameron. Hello, Diego. I just filled out USCIS Form I-485. for adjustment of status. Can I send it to you to look at it and make sure everything is right? Yeah, sure, Kevin. Go ahead and text it. Screenshot it or email it to me, however you want. You are a member of this channel, okay? And as a member of this channel, you have my phone number, and my service to you, the benefit you get from being a member of this channel is I'm going to make sure you don't mess up your paperwork. So you have my information to contact me so I can review your green card paperwork so there's no mistakes. I mean, I saved one guy, he got a denial because his wife filled out the I-485 incorrect, the 484, excuse me. She filled out the paperwork incorrectly because she was in a big hurry. And you can't be in a big hurry when you're filing for a 2-year green card. You got to make sure you don't make any mistakes. So go ahead and scan it to me or text it to me, Kevin, and I'll review it for you to make sure there's no mistakes. A second set of eyes, and I've been doing this for 12 years. You know, I'll review it for you, make sure there's no mistakes, so you don't get any denials. We don't want to see you get denied because of stupid mistakes, but that's what's happening. This one gentleman, his wife filled out the paperwork in such a big hurry, his green card got denied. He was told to leave the country. So he's a member of the channel, so he's calling me, emergency phone call, and I saved him. I saved his green card because I know how to fix stuff. An immigration attorney wanted to charge him, I think it was $3,000 to fix which I did for him for $9.99, which is his membership fee. Terrence, okay, copy everything you said, Diego. Thanks a lot. There you go. Terrence, we know we're now waiting for the work permit. Don't be in a big hurry to get that, okay? We don't know why it's taking so long to get it approved. We thought the work permit will come first before the green card. You're going to get the green card properly before the work permit, and that $260 that you gave to immigration for the work permit was a waste of money, honestly. I don't recommend applying for a work permit because it's $260 that you can use to take your wife out to dinner somewhere, right? Take her out to dinner, buy her a dress. Don't spend it on a work permit because you're going to get your work permit and then you're going to get your green card a week later. So you spend all that money on the work permit and you can only use it for a week or 2 weeks. Karina got her work permit and 2.5 weeks later she got her green card. But it was lucky for us, it was free. Because back in 2024, back in early 2024, the work permit was free. But now you got to pay $260, I think it is. That's how much it is. Don't waste your money on a work permit and don't be looking for it. You're going to get the green card first, most likely. You know, it is what it is, right? But that's why you're on this channel, because I'm teaching you stuff. I'm teaching you and I'm giving you all information that you may not know. So it's going to help you rest your head at night on your pillow. Because Terrence, don't be looking for the work permit. Just be concentrating on the green card. Okay? Sorry to tell you, but that money, you threw it away. Karina got her work permit, and then 3 weeks later, 2.5 weeks later, she got her green card. And I'm just grateful I didn't pay any money for that thing. So now she has a plastic card that says work permit, and that's a decoration in her purse. It's there for decoration. But her green card is what's important, because with the green card, you can work, you can live in America, work in America, and travel. But don't leave the United States on a 2-year green card. Wait until you become a U.S. citizen before you start to travel anywhere internationally. It's only 3 years. You can wait 3 years, right? You come to America, you put your roots in, you marry the U.S. citizen, you start a family maybe, you get a job, you make new friends, you learn the area, and then why are these people saying, oh, I got to go back to my home country? It isn't your home country. Your home country is the United States. The other country was your former country. If you are a green card holder, That was your former country. Karina's from Venezuela, but that's not her country. Her country is America. She's learning to be an American. She's assimilating into the American way of life. She's becoming American. And she's learning English pretty good. But Venezuela is where she used to live. And Colombia also. She lived in Colombia for 6 years. They gave her a 10-year green card. Cornell Rivers not even going on a family cruise. You can go on a family cruise. Yeah, but make sure you have the green card with you, because a family cruise is you live in the United States technically, okay? Yeah. But it's only for what, 2 weeks, 10 days? How long is a cruise? 5 days? You go on a cruise to Mexico. Where do you go? You go to Cozumel. Maybe you stop in Belize, or go to the US. You go to the British Virgin Islands. A cruise is 10 days, 7 days. Immigration, I'm not going to be overly concerned about you going on a cruise. But if you get on a plane and fly, to another country and stay there, and you make that trip repeatedly, there's a good chance your green card will be confiscated by the Border Patrol, because they're going to think you're just using the green card as a tourist visa and not as a permanent residency card. The green card is a permanent residency card to live and work in America. It's not a freaking tourist visa to go back and forth to wherever it is you started out from. When Karina is a U.S. citizen and she's Americanized, then we're going to plan a vacation to Venezuela, assuming the country has been liberated and that Maduro is no longer the president, because he is an evil person. Okay? He lost the election by 80% of the vote. He only won 20% of the vote. How do I know that? Well, Karina's mom was a poll watcher in Caracas. She had all the data. She had all the election results. And she's texting them to Karina here in the United States. Hey, Karina, check out the election results. But Maduro lost by 80%, 79.2%. Here's all the results. And she's sending them to, and then I'm sending them off to Washington, D.C., to my friends in Washington. These are the actual results of the election. And I'm sending them to my friends in Washington, D.C. So those folks know that Maduro is a massive fraud because of the intelligence that I was collecting from Venezuela. And so President Trump is doing what he has to do to keep the South America free. Because when Maduro became president, he was letting in the freaking Russians, military, the communist Chinese, the Iranians, the government. Now, the Iranian people, the Chinese people, and the Russian people are perfectly fine. Trump doesn't have any problem with the people. It's the governments who are the problems. So Maduro's got to go. And he knows he's got to go, and he's on borrowed time right now. Brownie RSPS, hello, what's going on? Yep, I hope you're doing well, Diego. Doing great. Every day's a good day. Kevin Cameron just sent thank you. Okay, no worries. Send it to the phone, and I'll review it for you after the live stream. Cornell Rivers, it almost seems like they want you to abandon your home just to come here. That's correct. When you move to the United States, you are saying goodbye to your home in whatever country it is. That country becomes a memory. Now, we're not saying you should forget your family and your friends. No, by no means at all. And don't forget your country. But yeah, you're abandoning your country. You're becoming an American. A green card is a privileged card to have as an opportunity to become an American citizen in the future. Now, if you don't want to be an American, if you don't want to become Americanized, if you want to continue living, if you want to live like you were in the country you were living in before, but that's fine. I mean, you can. But if people don't assimilate when they get here, then don't be surprised if they lose their green cards. and they get told to go back home. Because this is, if I was to relocate to Colombia and become a Colombian citizen or become a Colombian resident of Colombia, I would be told to assimilate as a Colombian. Learn Spanish, learn the history of Colombia, learn about the government, how it functions, and become Colombian. That's how it works. Brownie RSPS, finally a green card holder. Yay! We know. Mountain Dew salute to Brownie. Now, Brownie RSPS, you're originally from England, right? From the United Kingdom. Congratulations. Now you need to concentrate on becoming a US citizen. And it will be easier for you because you already speak the language. You just got to learn how to spell some things a little differently. There's no U in color. Like in England, right? There's no U in color in the United States. Right? Color. That's how you spell it. And there's no Q's here. I don't know how you spell it. There's lines here. It's aluminum, not aluminium. That's correct. Cornell Rivers, to get the 2-year green card. Oh, that's Chris Stout. Gotcha. Gold. Gotcha. You will. Cornell Rivers, why do you have to say goodbye to your old country just because you found a U.S. spouse? You don't have to. You don't have to say goodbye to your old country. You can bring the Americans to, your country. The American citizen can relocate to another country. They don't have to live in the United States. If you don't have to say goodbye to your old country, but you do have to assimilate when you get here and plan on becoming American, right? There's no hyphens in the United States. There's no hyphens. You are an American. You're not a Venezuelan American or a Colombian American or a Cuban American. You're either a Cuban or an American. So pick one. There's no hyphens. Okay, you get it. Yeah. I mean, I could have relocated to Colombia if Karina didn't want to assimilate and become American, and if she preferred to maintain her Latino roots. That's fine. I could move to Colombia, but I don't want to do that. I want to live here. And the discussion we had was, we're going to live here, and she wants to become Americanized, which is why you get a green card. That's the first step, is you love somebody, you marry somebody, you move to America, and you become Americanized with no hyphens. There's no hyphens. I mean, you're either an American or you're not. You're not a Cuban American. What is that? You're either Cuban or you're American. Which one? Pick one. I'm an American. Karina right now is Venezuelan, but she will become an American in 2027. Then she will be Karina Ross, the American, not the Venezuelan American, because Venezuela is no longer her country. Her country is the United States. That's how it works. That's how it's supposed to work. But now we got these people moving here, like that lady from Somalia. She still thinks she's Somalian. She's using all of her political power to help Somalia when she should be helping Americans. So she didn't assimilate. She's using the benefits of this country, but she's not assimilating, and she's sending all of her benefits back to Somalia. Money, time, whatever. And now we got this guy who was elected the mayor of New York City, who's from Uganda. Beautiful country, Uganda. It's a beautiful country, beautiful people. But he became a naturalized American, but he is still in his mind a communist, Marxist Ugandan. He didn't assimilate into the capitalist way. He said he wanted to dismantle what President Trump achieved in New York City. So how did President Trump achieve financial success in New York City? Because of capitalism. So what this mayor said he wants to do is to dismantle capitalism and implement his Marxist ideology. free grocery stores, free this, free bus rides. It doesn't work in our country. That doesn't work. Okay, so it's not going to happen. There's not going to be free bus rides in New York. There's not going to be free healthcare. There's not going to be there's not going to be government-ran grocery stores, because communism hasn't worked in over 1,000 years of it being implemented. Look at Cuba, Vietnam, North Korea, China. Look at those countries. Bolivia, okay, had a communist government for years, and the people got sick and tired of it. They got sick and tired of no medicine, no food, lines for food, no gas. So now they got kicked out of office. Bolivia became a free country. Venezuela's next. Communism doesn't work. Look at Cuba. They don't even have electricity half the time. Kevin Cameron, yes, I emailed it to you whenever you get time. Appreciate it. Yeah, let me do the live stream first, okay? And I'll check it out today. Brownie RSPS says one more fee to go for the 10-year green card. Yes, it's like $750. That's correct. As of it's November 8th, 2025. Today's November 8th, 2025. As of today, the fee to lift the conditions off of a 2-year to a 10-year green card is $750. And you have to use the new G1650. That's correct. That's the form you're going to fill out to pay for the 10-year green card. That's correct. You pay attention, right, Brownie? You paid attention to class. And I file that 90 days before the card expires. You are 100% correct. Within 90 days. So you look at the expiration date on your 2-year green card, minus 90 days from the expiration date. And in that 90-day window of time, you have to lift the conditions off your 2-year green card. If you file too early, everything will be rejected and sent back to you. If you file too late, you will get a letter of deportation and to appear in front of an immigration judge. So you got to do it exactly within those 90 days before it expires. Chris Stout, how are they going to fight for New York City? Well, what is going to happen in New York City is, number one, the governor of New York City is up for re-election. So I'm pretty sure she's not going to want to implement any tax increases on the good citizens of New York, including New York City. So when the communist mayor says he wants to raise the corporate tax rate to equal New Jersey's of 14.5% or something like that, the governor of New York is going to be looking at her re-election and say, no, we're not going to do that. Because it was the New York legislator that controlled the taxes. So she's going to call up her New York legislators and say, we ain't raising taxes because I'm up for re-election. So number one, that's not going to happen. So the communist mayor of New York isn't going to get his tax increase so he can pay for all this free stuff. Number two, he wants to provide free transportation on the buses and on the trains or whatever. Well, the New York Transportation Department, okay, the MTB or whatever it's called, they control the transportation in New York City, not the mayor. They're not going to go with free stuff because they need to pay their employees to drive the trains. So that's not going to happen. So the communist isn't going to get that under his belt. And he said he wants to open up government-run grocery stores. That's not going to happen. Because if he tries to look at Cuba. Cuba runs the grocery stores, and they give everybody their little piece of sugar and their little piece of bread and their little piece of cheese. They get their allocation. And people have a sucky life. You have to get in line for food. The capitalists in New York City that run the real grocery stores are not going to allow a government-ran entity to pop up. It's not going to happen. So basically, this communist, who is now the mayor of New York, isn't going to get what he wants. So I'm not worried about it. But what he needs to worry about, like you said, the cops are leaving out of the state. Yeah. Yeah, the mayor of New York said he wants to defund the New York Police Department, the NYPD. Okay, so what's going to happen is we need police officers in Florida. Nevada needs police officers. Texas. So the states that actually know how to run their states correctly under a capitalist republic, they're going to be providing jobs to these New York City police officers who are going to leave New York, leaving New York basically defenseless. Let's see. Brownie RSPS, gotcha, thank you. And I assume that if the new card takes longer than the time left on the card I file, I'm still in status. Yes. Brownie RSPS, when you file for your 10-year green card, 90 days before your 2-year green card expires, it's going to take about 20 to 21 months to get your 10-year green card. So what's going to happen is you're going to get a letter from immigration saying, yes, your 2-year green card will expire on this day, but we're going to extend it for 48 months. So you're going to get a 4-year extension on your expired 2-year green card. You're going to put the letter with the green card and carry it around with you. So if immigration stop you, you can show them your 2-year green card. They're going to say it's expired. And then you're going to show them the letter saying that you've applied for the 10-year green card, which has extended your 2-year green card by 4 years. So you're good to go. That's how easy it is. Don't panic. Don't worry. Don't be a panicking. Just follow the routine. If you listen to what I tell you, follow my advice, you're going to be perfectly fine and do perfectly good. Terrence, can I apply to become a U.S. citizen after my 2-year green card? No, you cannot. You have to be a resident of the United States continuously, which means don't leave the country for 36 months before you can apply for U.S. citizenship. You have to be married to a U.S. citizen for 3 years with continual residency in this great republic, and then you can apply for U.S. citizenship. 3 years. So you got your 2-year green card, it expires, you apply for your 10-year green card. You're still waiting for your 10-year green card, and 36 months has passed, you can then apply for U.S. citizenship. Okay? So you go to your U.S. citizenship appointment with your expired 2-year green card, your I-797 letter saying your 2-year green card's been extended for 48 months, and you become a citizen, you turn in your expired green card, etc., and you get your naturalization certificate. Chris, my New York City cops leaving out of the state. Yes, they're leaving. They're probably going to join Homeland Security or the FBI or become police officers in Florida, Nevada, Texas, etc. Brownie RSPS to Terrence, I think you need to be a green card holder for 3 years. That's correct. Chris Stout, they are saying all full. Who is all full? No, Florida needs people. They're hiring people here from New York. Chris Stout, the New York City will be deployed National Guard. Yeah, Trump sends a National Guard in. Keep it under control. That's correct, since he wants to defund the NYPD. Trump isn't worried about this Marxist communist mayor of New York City. He really, now the media, the MSNBC garbage channel, it's a garbage channel. It's not a channel that gives news. It gives far left opinion. MSNBC doesn't give news, it gives opinion that benefits the communists and the Marxists. Fox News benefits the far right. Okay? So I watch Sky News in Australia because Sky News basically gives the news without all of the BS opinion. I want to hear what's going on. I don't care about what the reporter's opinion is on Trump or on Biden because it's irrelevant. What I want to hear is a news reporter report the freaking news, the information, not the opinion. And the reason that MSNBC is failing as a company is because they are no longer a news outlet. They are an opinionated left-wing garbage. Because a news media becomes garbage when they no longer report the news. They report opinion. Brownie RSPS, thank you for everything as well, Diego. The real deal. Well, you get the last word, and I'm going to go make something to eat because I'm hungry. Hope you all had fun on the live stream. Like I said, the reason I do surprise live streams, because there's a few people out there that will subscribe to the channel and then go on to the live stream and then unsubscribe from the channel and then wait for the next live stream, then subscribe to the channel. And I'm like, seriously, I never ask people to subscribe to the channel, ever. To me, that's like being a panhandler. Like and subscribe. I'm not a panhandler. Either you like the stuff I put out or you don't. But don't subscribe and then unsubscribe and subscribe and unsubscribe right before live streams, because that's ridiculous. So I do a surprise live stream, and those folks that are not subscribed, they can't ask questions. But they can definitely watch the live stream and learn from it. And that's the objective, right? Is to learn on how to do this. Terrence, so the green card is given to my wife this year, November, and it expires 2027. So it is a 3-year card. No, your 2-year green card is a 2-year green card, not a 3-year green card. It's a 2-year green card. Check it again. Check it again. We'll see you guys. Today's Saturday. We'll see you on Monday.